All right, welcome to Chess of the 21st Century. Now, when they made the class up, they didn't know what it was about, but I do, so that's all that matters. Also, the future GMs won't know what it's about either. So only I know what it's about. It's all about the Benjamins. No. So I decided I'm only going to lecture on people born in the 21st century. I don't care if they played in the 21st century as long as they're born then. They don't have to be chess players, I don't care. Now, the topic of today will be my favorite player born in the 21st century. Not all at once. You at home? No, nothing? You got nothing?
Is it
Oh, look, you might know.
Makoveev?
Yeah, Ilya Makoveev, very good. Now, Makoveev had his birthday this month. Should we sing happy birthday? Nah. He turned 10 this month. And I've been following his career for over 2 years, as you have. Now, you've been doing nothing. I've been watching you guys. Now, Makoveev just played in the Budapest First Saturday tournament where you try to get an IM norm. And in 11 rounds, he got 2 wins and 9 draws. Typical 9-year-old. Against players rated 2,300 FIDE. And he wins the World Youth every year, except he didn't win the last year. He only tied for first. Shameful. And in the last 3 World Youths where he's played under 8 and under 10, he hasn't lost any games. And it's 11 rounds. So in 33 rounds of the World Youth, no losses. And I see some videos of him on the internet playing chess, beating good players. His FIDE rating right now is 2249, and he just turned 10. And he's better than that, but he doesn't play a lot of FIDE rated tournaments. So I don't want to show his recent games because this is, chess that I want to show his old school games because he'll grow into a new player at some point. I want to show games from when he was 7 and 8, 10, come on. So first game was played in Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, chess plays you. And he was playing some Russian guy. That's actually his name, some Russian guy. And Makoveev was black. And this was played in 2013 when he was 7. Okay. Now, one reason I like Makoveev, and I hate everybody, so this is very strange, right? You gotta, if I like you, then something happened. Okay. Most chess players have 0 talent, maybe less than 0, right? Maybe like negative 273. You know what I mean? Yeah? Any Kelvin enthusiasts here? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, most players have no talent, and then they learn an opening, then they play it, and they forget it, they lose all their pieces, and then I write 1-0 on the score when I play them. Okay, now Makoveev is different. Every kid I've ever taught, or ever goes to the World Youth, okay, their parents spend 99% of the time telling me how great their kid is. Okay, your kid's not great, your kid's the worst. If you're watching this, your kid's the worst, I don't care who you are. Okay, the only person worse than your kid is you, right? Back me up, Arjun. Arjun, you showed up late, come on. Did you read the script I gave you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, okay, all your kids have no talent, all of them. All right, now they all play the same opening, their coach taught them, then they forget, then they lose, then their coach says like, oh, you didn't play it right, then they lose again, and then they quit chess and they play like, hockey or something, okay. Then they lose at hockey. Now, Makoveev's different. Makoveev plays every opening. He plays B4 on move 1, C4, D4, E4, knight F3, F4, B3. And with black, he plays every opening. So you can't, on move 1, it's over. And unfortunately, I've prepared the no talent American junior, I mean, you kids are great. I prepared the American kids in the World Youth every year, and I'm like, well, we don't need to do on move 1, so, we look at some stuff, and then he beats them in 20 moves. Okay, and American players don't do well against Makoveev. So I try to get my kids to not get paired with him. That's as a coach, that's what I'm trying to do. I didn't do a good job because my kids were doing too well. So, okay, so Makoveev plays Scandinavian because he plays everything. Okay, he's 7. And normally when kids are 6, 7, 8, it's E4, E5, then all the knights come out, all the bishops come out. Arjun's learning, okay, confusing his dad and Grandmaster Ken West. Okay, so you can play queen takes or knight F6. I'm sure he's played both. Plays knight F6. fact, this reminds me of the game Caruana Kobian from 2 weeks ago, right? That's what it reminded you of?
Yeah.
Hey, Grandmaster's like, yeah. I'm not sure if he's kidding or not. You really remember that? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I've been watching this show Lie to Me. You're not going to get away with that. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, it's Ken West. Okay, never mind. I don't have to see the macro facial expressions. Okay, knight c3, yeah. Grandmasters play d4, bishop b5 check here. Takes, bishop c4. Probably knight b6 is more accurate, but c6 is okay. And what I like about Makoveev is, in general, he's a positional player. Very strange for 7. He tries to get small advantages and eventually win. That's what you do, right, Arjun?
No.
What do you do?
I try to mate on move 1.
You try to mate on move 1, recommended by Mike Kummer, right? Yeah. I just played Mike Kummer like an hour ago. Yeah, I showed the class, but you showed up late. He crushed me. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so h3, bishop h5. So black has his bishop out of the pawn structure. White trades, because low-rated players like to trade, although white's a higher-rated player. And there was a lot of trading, and it was a very boring game. That's what Makoveev likes. Okay, now Makoveev, who has a weak c-pawn, gets rid of it. In fact, Makoveev has 2 weak pawns. So first we trade the c-pawn for the center pawn, if possible. Okay, and I don't think white should have taken that pawn. So that worked out well. And then after c4, he takes the knight on f3 because everything's overworked and overloaded. The queen's defending this, queen's defending this, pawn takes doesn't look very good. Okay, so now d4. Could also take on c4 and try to be a pawn up, but probably white would play b3. Okay, so d4, pass pawn. White wants to play b4, so what did black play? Yeah, I don't remember. I played the game over, but it was like 2 hours ago. So, you know all the stuff I've done in 2 hours? I've taken 3 naps. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 4 naps. I forgot one. I was asleep during one of them. A5, hey, we're right. Okay. B4, and now everybody takes everything, right? All right, so B4 is a very suspicious move. Now, let's see who the smartest in the audience is. Who's better than a 7-year-old? Anyone? Isn't that a television show? You. Queen takes B4, hanging your rook on A8.
So queen c8.
Queen C8, then white has 2 connected passed pawns, right? See, you're not 7 anymore, that's your problem.
Or rook a1.
Or rook A1, very good. So now if white trades rooks, black has a choice of pawns. So white plays the very suspicious pawn takes queen, check. And this is a very easy win, although I guess if you're 7, it's not too easy, but okay. And there's actually been many times where we've seen this ending where black doesn't have his e-pawn, which is 3 against 3. And black has good winning chances because if black doubles rooks on the 7th, that's annoying. And usually black wins when there's no e-pawn. With an e-pawn, no problem. So Makoveev gets luffed, plays tactically and positionally perfect, like most of you. Rook takes defending his pawn, and white resign. And that guy was 2,000. Makoveev, I think, played virtually perfect. Right? You know why? He was 7. Yeah. That's why it was virtually perfect. I didn't say perfect, because he has to, get into it, Okay, so that was a game I hadn't seen before today. Now he's white in the next game. C4, plays everything. And this is in some place in Russia that nobody can pronounce. I'm not even going to try. I just give up. There's too many S's and I's. Novorossiysk. Yeah, then it has some more words. Malaya, Zemla. Why are there? How many cities is this? Okay, and he's playing some Russian guy again. And now this is 2014, so he's 8. So, all right, so now he's really good. Okay, again, plays positionally. He gets the 2 bishops, h3. He's got, now, he plays queen d1. Nobody in this room would play queen d1, especially Danny Machuca, right? So Makoveev, because he's already 8, so he's a seasoned veteran. He knows his queen's not good on f3, it's good on d1. You should move your queen out. So when you do, you got to put it back. But he has the long-term advantage of the 2 bishops, which he uses to good effect. Okay, now another reason I like Makoveev is what he did here. He made a bad move. Okay, people make bad moves. Wait, I have a text. Is it for Makoveev? Blah, 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 blah. I could take that too. Wow, people just stealing my stuff when I'm here. Okay, so, well, if I was white, I would castle. I'm not going to tell you which way. Shh. Okay. Well, king side. Okay, Makoveev made a bad move, but it shows you something. He's either really bad or really good, and he's not really bad. So the leftover answer is really good. It's the kind of move an average player would never make because you were taught rules and you follow them without thinking, like little kids do. Little kids are like, doubled pawns, that's bad. Because I heard somebody say that once. And I'm like, but you're up 7 pieces. And they're like, yeah, but double pawns is bad. Okay, unfortunately I had these conversations many times. Right? Right, Arjun?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now white did something you're all taught was bad. And even though he's 8, he decided like he's gonna override what he was taught. He made a move none of you would ever play. The only person who would play it is Matt Larson, because Matt Larson's played it against me. You with the wrong answer.
B5.
No, b5 is just terrible. No, that's just a terrible move. Ugh. No, you have a space advantage on the queen side, you don't close it up. Never play f3. So how does white connect his rooks if he doesn't castle? Yeah. So you got to be really bad or really good to play that move. So no, well, maybe Ken would. None of you can play that. Like you can't play. Now here, his opponent played very suspiciously. All right, no good player would play the next move. It made king d2 look good. He's like, I'm going to make that look great. He traded on b4 and traded on a1. That's exactly why he played king d2. So his rook could, now white has the a file. Now usually, when you're looking at games of 7, 8, 9-year-olds, which I did a lot last week in Nashville for you 2 weeks ago, every move is like, I hung a queen. Oh, I hung another queen. Well, I'm going to promote to a queen and hang that. And they're like, I'll promote to a queen and hang that. Okay, and then I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to cry. All right, and then the director comes and both players say they lost. All right, that's what I'm used to when little kids play. He's laughing because it's the truth, right? You ever played a little kid, you're up like 9 pieces? Back me up. No. White has a space advantage on the queen side. In general, in these types of King's Indian positions, which looks like a King's Indian, white does this on the queen side, black does this on the king side, and then somebody wins. But if white's advancing on the queen side and black's advancing on the king side, but white's king isn't over there, white doesn't get checkmated. So that's why he played king d2. He knew black was going to play f5 and g5 and f4, and he's like, I don't care. Okay, so f5, king goes to c1, f4, e4, and f4 is a terrible move strategically. Somehow this 8-year-old plays perfect strategic chess. Also, this looks like the game I won around in the simultaneous I didn't show you before the class. The guy that I beat in round 1 where I sacked my queen, this looks like my game with him from the simul, except my position was even better. Okay, knight c8, knight b5, rawr. So black has nothing. The center's blocked. White has more space on the queen side. And black can't attack white's king because white's king isn't over there. I can't play queen g5 and f3 because your king's on c1. See, that was good, queen g5 to d8, proving he's also a good player. All right, and g3 also for an 8-year-old. G3 keeps everything blocked, controls the f4 square, doesn't double his pawns. Nice move. And okay, white's just all over black. And this is the kind of game you would expect like Yasser Seirawan to be white, except white won. Oh, snap. Right, Yasser? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so bishop check, rook c7. So you can see not only is black down material, he can't do anything. Like positionally lost, strategically lost. Okay, h5, king b1. What rule does that follow, Arjun?
Always play king
Always play king
b1.
b1, right, yeah. What 8-year-old plays king b1 here? right? 8-year-olds I know, they play knight d6 and say, oh, my rook and knight are hanging, right? Then the opponent plays queen c8 in response. And then white's like, oh my God, I can take 3 different ways, and white's flag falls. Right, Arjun? That's the games I'm used to seeing, not king b1. Bishop h6, oh, it's not check anymore. Bishop c1, and now the queen infiltrates. Roar! Now that's infiltrating, right? It's a good thing white played king b1. He had queen c1, queen h6 mate. So that was a dominating performance for an 8-year-old, or for anybody. Now, the third game is his best, so we're going to skip that. And we're going to go to this game. Now, this game was played in the World Youth against one of the American kids. That means we lost. That's what that means. And V. Friedman, who's the captain every year, he said, that was even before I showed up, and I wasn't coaching yet, we lost. Yeah, Makoveev has like 17-0 in like 4 World Youths against the American players. So, Makoveev, d4, knight f3, and he plays sort of boring system with white. And let's see, when the bishop's on c1, it's the Kali, named after your favorite grandmaster.
Kali?
Yeah, what country was he from?
Poland?
You.
Belgium.
Belgium. Who was born in Belgium?
You.
No. Spencer. Right. Come on, learn your whatever, your history. Okay, the bishop's on f4, that's the London system. The bishop's on g5, that's the Torre attack. Who could name both Torre grandmasters? Who could name one of them?
Eugenio.
Well, that's an interesting way to pronounce it. Sure. Eugenio Torre from what country? Say Philippines.
Philippines.
Correct. Okay, then there's the one who played in the 20s. That's what this is named after. That's the Torre attack we're talking about. Anyone? Joe Torre? Close. You with the wrong answer.
James Torre?
James Torre? Yeah, you're closer than him, because he was kidding and you're not. No, the correct answer is Carlos Torre. And that's who this is named after. Okay, so this is pretty boring. So nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. Trade, fall asleep. Okay, that's how Makoveev likes it. He likes to put his opponents to sleep. Now, c4 blocks up the queen side and center, and there's some pressure on the center, so probably c4 not the best move, but it's okay. Okay, now he goes for g4, so Ken West is happy, except white's bishop is entrapped on c1, so Ken West isn't happy. He wants his bishop trapped on c1, so it's like old times. Okay, Ken West is an advocate of the Kali, right, Ken?
Yes, sir.
All right. Knight d7, retreat, boring. Now, in my opinion, black should move these, but that's my opinion. Okay, h5, risky. Okay, now, if you were black, what move would you make now? Well, it's not your turn. You with the right answer.
G6.
Correct. Makoveev don't let you play g6.
G6?
Yeah. See, the answer is always the same. G6. So Makoveev is the most boring player ever, unless he's not. Then he's like, okay, wait a minute, now I'm going to checkmate you because you did all this. Okay, so I don't like FG because I don't like that. So, okay, knight G is correct. Now, black made the losing move, probably his only really bad move of the game. Notice, white is threatening queen h5. Did you notice that?
No.
I know, but keep looking. You'll see. So black should play, Arjun,
The opposite of knight h8?
the opposite of knight h8. Is that knight a1?
No.
Wait, what?
That's probably...
Wait, what does he mean? Somebody help me. You at home. What does he mean? The opposite of knight h8. What? All right, what move should he play? It saves his h-pawn.
I would play knight d7.
I think he did play that. I don't remember. But he should save his h-pawn with h4. Then he has an h-pawn. But he played knight d7, recommended by Arjun. Also, he's a lot higher rated than you. These kids aren't bad. World Youth. It's funny, I had a parent crying to me once, and he was wondering why his kid wasn't winning the World Youth. And I was like, you know, your kid's good on your block, but this is the World Youth. Like, you know, your kid's okay, he's 1800, so he comes in and like, gets 5 out of 10, you know. Like, this is the World Youth. Kids are like 2300 strength when they're 3. Like, your kid's not winning the World Youth, your kid's winning the, you know, Annapolis, semi-open, under 8. They're not, your kid's not winning the World Youth. Come on, man. So World Youth, we send around 100 kids, and we try to get 1 or 2 golds. We try, and usually we do. And then India gets the rest. No, they get the other 98 golds. Yeah. It's funny, last year India won 1 billion medals, and China won none. And we were like, wait, what? Yeah, that didn't make any sense. So, but we won some medals. All right, we showed our medal. Okay, Makoveev, yum, 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 yum. Queen h5. His queen's attacked, and unlike some of you in the audience, he saw it. Okay, moved it away. Tried to run with his king. Yeah, but now, one big difference between Makoveev and weaker players is when they have a mating attack, they sort of very insistent that they mate, or instead of making a move that wins without a mating attack. Makoveev actually prefers boring chess. So when he's mating you, that's nice. When you hang your pieces, that's nice. But if you can go to a winning ending, that's even nicer. So he played the obvious move, Arjun. I'll let you think about it while I was blabbing on. Yeah, knight f7, yeah. Now that trades queens, but it's an extra pawn, isolated g-pawn, weak pawn on e6. By the way, black had a lot of counterplay this game. Black was very active. No. All right, so they trade everything. Okay, now Makoveev successfully punishes his opponent with 2 consecutive pins. F5, taking advantage of the pin on the e-pawn. And then after here, he does it again. F6, yeah. Yeah, I don't think king e7 was the right move. Although I think black actually can't move here. Yeah, there's like nothing you can do.
A6.
Who?
A6.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll play f6 anyway. I'll play h6. I'll play rook g2, g1. Like you're gonna run out of moves. Okay, so f6, yum yum yum. Yeah, and then white's better. Yeah, the class agrees. And for some reason, since I know that black is over 1800, he played till mate, and it was a very quick mate, so it didn't take a long time. Also, I like the move a3. Yeah. Yeah, he played the quickest mate. Yeah, then takes. Now what did he do? There's 2 answers that are correct.
Did he blunder with rook b7?
He did, and it was stalemate. Rook where?
D7.
Rook d7 is one, and the other one is?
Rook g5.
Right, and he did one of them, I don't know. Yeah, and then mate. All right, so those games were no good. That was just to butter you up a little. That was to soften, I got some, if you want some sauce. Okay, now, although Arjun usually avoids the sauce. Right, Arjun? Yeah, all right, somebody got that. Okay, now this is the game of the century. It was a slow century. So this is Ilya Makoveev against Dmitry Morozov. Ooh, oh wait a minute, Morozov, even better. It's almost like Morozevich, but they took out the ending. Yeah, so this was a brilliant positional game. Just fantastic. Then a sequence of tactical moves that would shatter the ego of any tactician from the old school. Morphy and Steinitz and Tal, they only dreamed of playing such a game. You with some crazy comment.
What year was
This game, 2014. So he was a seasoned 8 years old. Seasoned. So they played the most boring symmetrical English. Shouldn't Yasser be doing this game? I've showed Yasser this game. Yeah. Okay, because this is like Yasser playing himself. C4, C5, G3, G6. Yeah. Okay. So this is the most boring chess can be until it isn't. And when I'm doing live commentary here, which you guys should go to, but you're sitting lazily, you got food all over you, you're spilling your drink right now, you got no paper towels because you didn't go to the store yesterday, you're the worst. Okay, right? But it's all true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Arjun agrees. Why isn't Arjun on? Okay, you're gonna sit up here with me next time. Next week, you're gonna be my assistant.
All right.
All right, good. Because they came to see you anyway. They don't, yeah. All right, so this is the most boring position ever. This is like Sarwan, like having a consultation game with Botvinnik, and they play both sides, right? Okay, and one of them's not even alive. I don't know which one. Okay, so then one of them. All right, so remember, he's only 8. So pretty good for boring chess. Now, kids that I teach, they always do this, and then they lose a piece. They love doing that, right? In fact, I don't know if Ken West has ever done that.
Not in the last couple of weeks.
Not in the last couple of weeks. He got me, right? Okay, so this guy didn't hang a piece. So a lot of people like to line their queen and bishop up and do this, so their opponent likes to stop it. Now that's the most fun you can have. Okay. So really boring game, right? Nothing happening. How could black checkmate white very soon? You're all confused. You were already confused at home. I'm not talking to you anymore. You don't listen. Okay, knight d4, trading. Okay, rook b8, b3, b5, queen e2, and they agreed to a draw. No. Okay, h4. Now the game gets a little interesting. Makoveev tries to break through on the queen side. He has more space. And so he does. And white breaks through on the king side. That's the most fun you can have. Bishop c6. And the point of bishop c6 is if he plays f5 and I take it, your e-pawn's pinned. So even Ryan Chester wouldn't do that. Oh man, I have so many good Ryan Chester jokes. It's a good thing he's not here. Was he walking up the stairs? Man, he missed his cue. Wait a minute, I got the time wrong. Oh, he's supposed to come in 3 minutes. Okay, never mind. All right, so h5, rawr, king f7, defense, queen to g4, rook g8, bishop h3. Now doesn't it look like white's attacking on the king side? Yeah. It looks like that. Okay. Yeah, I went to this 70s, 80s themed bar, and it looked like John Travolta was the bartender. It looked like it. All right. No, nobody watches every episode of The Simpsons ever? No, nothing. All right. Queen e7, e5. So white's crashing through against Makoveev's king, or so he thinks. de and f5. So black is protecting his king pretty well. Now, when you push all your pawns, sometimes you checkmate your opponent, and sometimes your pawns go away, so you get checkmated, because you don't have pawns defending your king, unlike some people who have pawns defending their king. Okay. Now, pawn takes queen is not a threat due to the pin, so yeah. Okay, queen f4 takes, breaking through on the queen side, which allows him to go to the king side. And now white has nothing. White's trying to break through, but black has a solid pawns on the king side defending his king. Black has broken through on the queen side, and his bishops and rook are ready to attack white's king, which has virtually no pawn protection. Rook e2 defending the 7th rank. g5. If you remember the previous game, white played g4, g5, and attacked. This is very similar. And the queen is hanging. And I think, I looked at this game before all of you were born. I think white should play queen g4 here. And he's losing, but he's not losing as quickly as in the game. So this is a big turnaround. Black was crashing through on the queen side, white on the king side, and now black's crashing through on both sides. Okay, pretty good for 8. Right, Arjun?
No.
Terrible. You didn't read those lines I gave you. I gave you corrections. Okay, so queen c1, boo. Rubinstein's rolling over in his grave. I don't know which one. Maybe Archer. Wasn't much of a chess player. Right, Ken?
Right.
No? Yeah. Okay. No, nobody's a Chopin fan? Nobody? Yeah, you got nothing? All right. So, well, Arjun is. Okay, he raised his hand. All right, so black continues. g4. What should white do? No. That would be just terrible for our class. I'll give you a hint. Black's threatening pawn takes bishop. Arjun.
Bishop g4.
Isn't there a rook on g8?
Yeah?
So that would be losing for white.
Oh.
You agree?
Yeah.
That is better than what he played, but It's clearly losing. He played the most obvious move. Yeah. Now remember, black was 8 when he did this. Don't forget it. I'd give you a hint. That wouldn't help you. Before the class started, I showed you a game I played that ended with a similar sacrifice. Man, I gave him such a good hint. But they showed up before class, unlike you. You didn't do anything. You're just sitting at home. You're the worst. Yeah, he played Queen H4 check. That's how he rolled when he was 8. Is that what you would do, Arjun? Arjun's like, give me a second.
No.
He still wouldn't do it. Man, Arjun's mad. We'll give Arjun a chance to see it, because I have to have some of this blue water. You see it yet? No. Does anybody see it, or just you who said it? What about you, Darian?
Oh, I see it.
Now you see it? And you saw Danny, or you're just pretending you see it? You think you see it? How do you think? Like, give your queen away. I think it's winning. Now, Danny, last time I played you, what did I do? What did I sacrifice? Nice. I showed Matt Larson. Yeah. All right, so he took, right? Well, hold on. Arjun, you said you got it?
Yeah. It's rook h3.
Rook h3. If you're going to sack a queen, you might as well sack a rook. Right? Right, Grandmaster? And then you take it, and then mate. But white does have good control of the h-file. You got to give him that. Man, if black tried to go to the h-file. Yeah. So black won on the queen side and the king side. Yeah, somehow I'm good at recognizing talent. Somehow. When Anand was 16, his FIDE rating was 2,400. Okay, which is like now he'd be kicked out of chess. But at the time, that was pretty good. That was 30 years ago. So almost 30 years ago today. It was in April, and this is May, so it's close. And I gave him the nickname God, which stuck a little, but then it went away. Because that guy saw everything. And 2,400 players, I know a lot of them, negative 273 is like their goal. Like they got nothing. Tabula rasa, right? They hit their head on the table, and there was no noise. It was just swish, and the ear all went out. Anand was different. He wasn't the highest rated junior, and he didn't win the tournament. It was a junior tournament. But I was like, wow, that guy's really good. And if I may I?
Yeah.
I think in the last 30 years, Anand's had the best career. Who wants to argue? Because in the last 9 or 10 years, Karpov and Kasparov really haven't had a career. But if you take all 30 years, I think Anand has won. Yeah, so I'm a reasonable judge of talent. Because he wasn't the highest rated, didn't win the tournament, but I saw him analyze and I was like shocked. You with some crazy comment.
I don't think that he's had the best.
Who's had the best career in the last 30 years?
I'm predicting.
Predicting? No. It's already done. It already happened.
It's Carlson.
No. I'm talking about 86 to 2016.
I know. I mean Carlson for the.
Carlson's career in 86 was just awful.
No.
He had nothing. I could spot him a queen and beat him.
No,
I flagged him every game. I started his clock, nothing. He wouldn't move. He was too scared.
I mean 24 years. Because he's 24.
Yeah, I don't think the first 10 years of his career he was too good. I don't think he was beating Anand, right? No, if you go like for 20 years, it's not Anand. If you go for the last 10, it's not Anand. But all 30, it's Anand, right? Yeah, Grandmaster backs me up. Okay, Makoveev is going to be really good, and you agree because you saw that game. You with some comment.
Who is his tutor?
His dad, who I think he's better than his dad. Yeah, they interviewed him, and he's like, my dad teaches me. But he plays every opening. He doesn't have a repertoire, he just plays what he feels like, and then he plays really good. And he never loses. Remember that if you're taking notes, never lose. Then, yeah, then you'll do well. Geary followed that advice for a while, then he's like, all right, never mind. Gonna start losing, yeah. So, I'll finish with my favorite Makoveev story, even better than this game. At the World Youth a couple of years ago, Makoveev was playing an American, and our American team captain, Aviv Friedman, who's been the resident here, he went up to see the game, see how our American player's doing. He's allowed in there. He's the only one person's allowed. Like no parents, no coaches, just the team captain. So he went and he looked, and Makoveev saw him and looked at his name tag, and it said America. And Makoveev was 8, and he went. And Aviv went, the truth hurts, and Aviv left. Because he's not supposed to look at the game like, so, yeah, go away. Yeah. So remember to do that when somebody watches your game, do that, right? Is that what you do, Arjun?
No.
That's right.
It distract everyone else.
Yeah. Anyway, he wasn't distracted because he won shortly thereafter. So next week, I was thinking about doing Wei Yi, but he might have been born in 1999 or 2000. And I have to talk to, important people in the US government to decide whether 2000 is this century or not. I don't know. That'll be a long discussion. I know it's the last millennium, but what century is it? So I talked to Matt Larson about it a little. We couldn't come to an agreement. So if you were born in 2000, I don't know if I should look at your games. You're just too old.
Last century.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do somebody like Jeffrey Zhang. Maybe. I think he was born in 2001.
No, he was born 2000.
What, you know that?
October.
Oh man, October 2000. Oh. And that means that Sam Semyon was born in 2000, because they're almost the same age.
I thought
No, thinking's not your strong suit. Don't do that.
I thought Jeffrey Chan was a year older.
No, they're like a month apart.
Oh.
Who was, I'm gonna do that kid from Uzbekistan. Yeah, he's like 2,400 feet and he's 12. So he's over the hill, but I'll sneak him into the lectures. All right, so you watch it for next week. I can't pronounce either one of his names, so you know he's good. Yeah, the truth hurts. Yeah, that's Makoveev's only failing. His name's Ilya Makoveev. I can pronounce that.